Merry meet everyone. This is my second video for the 12 Gods and 12 Goddesses. And it's still for the month of January. I know I'm posting it 2 days after January has ended, but I just had the ritual yesterday because on the 31st I wasn't really in the right frame of mind. But this month the goddess I focused on was Harmonia, Greek goddess of harmony. And I found her rather interesting because so little is known about her. It makes sense, she's the goddess of harmony and marriage and, the harmony of abstract things as well. However, she has also a very passionate personality if you read her myths, a very logical thinking, which I found it a little bit odd that she was logical because she is the illegitimate love child of Ares and Aphrodite, and turned out to be the goddess of harmony. But she knows what she wants, and if you read through her myths, as I have done over the last month, you find that she doesn't go out of her way to, she doesn't go out of her way to love someone or whatnot. She actually wanted to get married because it made logical sense. And she had herself fall in love because it made logical sense for her to do so. And I thought that was very interesting behavior. Since I couldn't find a lot of information about her as I could Pan, about the 10th day of January, I asked her to visit my dreams so that I may learn a little bit more about her before I, start studying her throughout the month. And she came to me. She basically said, "Clean your house or else I will not show up to your ritual for me," and then left. Which I found, again, to be a little bit odd, but said, okay. So I have spent the last month cleaning my house, which was a disaster. So I understand why she wanted it clean, because she's the goddess of harmony, and I am in no way harmonized in my living situation. But I have a clean house now. So last night I had a ritual for her. It was a very, small, very organized ritual, very not like the one I had with Pan. And, basically consisted of a meditation because I did it in my house, and I live in a 27-foot trailer. So my house is a little bit small, and making a circle in my living room is a very small circle. So I didn't have much room other than to just sit. But I sat and had meditation, and she came to me and told me to open my eyes. And I started looking at everything and seeing it through a different perspective. And what I learned, which the message she had for me, wasn't one to be more harmonized with life, as I was generally expecting, but moreover, not to be really anything, it was that harmony is not exclusive. That some people will think harmony and disharmony are opposite when they are, but her message for me was that harmony and disharmony work together. Her and her opposite were always agreeing. There was nothing to disagree about. And she had me watch my snake, because my snake tank's tied up in my living room. And I was sitting there watching my snake, and I had fed it 3 mice earlier that day, and she told me to just watch. And she explained that the mouse, its natural state, a harmonized state, would be to breed. a harmonized state, would be to be out in the field and eating and procreating. And then, if my snake was in the wild, the harmonizing in its life would be the eating of the mice. Now, she told me to think about it as two mice, because there was only one left over in the cage, and if they were a breeding pair, everything would be harmonized in their area. And everything would be harmonized with the snake, because the snake has found food. And if the snake eats one of the mice, the snake is in harmony with itself, and the cycle of nature is in harmony. However, the mouse, now alone, is in disharmony because of the harmony of the snake. And this was a difficult concept for me to grasp, because we live in such a world where either things are right or they are not. And apparently, they're both, always. She just had me looking around my house, seeing different things. Now my house is clean, so it's harmonized. However, it also has no heat, which is kind of essential for me. So it's part of the disharmony about it. It's part of the disharmony that I have to struggle to keep it, yet it's part of the harmony that I have it in the first place. So I learned more of the balance, which is great because my path strives on balance. And it was really great for me to see something that wasn't there, that I didn't see before. That was there, I just didn't see it. So, as Egyptian had said about Poseidon, she didn't really feel a connection. I didn't particularly feel a connection with Harmonia, as I did with Pan. I felt a great connection to Pan. But because I am very sporadic, and Harmonia is very organized in nature. So, why I chose her, besides the fact that I like choosing to study things that are less known, instead of studying Hera, which I am actually doing in a later month. But I chose to study Harmonia because I felt my life was completely out of whack, and I probably could use some harmonizing traits, I should put it, in my life at the moment. Though, I don't know if she is a goddess that I will form a personal relationship with, but she is definitely a goddess I hold in high respect. That's about all I can say about my ritual and my experience this month with her. So, with that, I say merry part, and I wish you well.